Hey everybody, it is Ed. All right, recently, thank you to Kurt. Kurt sent me the new release of Elvis Promised Land on Music on Vinyl label. Okay, now I also happen to have an original 1975 pressing when this came out. Now, the Promised Land album were the remaining songs that were recorded in 1973 at Stax Studios. And those albums were Raised on Rock and Good Times, and then finally Promised Land. So all the songs from those sessions, I believe it was February and December of 1973, made these three albums. So this was the last one to be released. All right, so now I have three different versions of this as far as the original. Then I have in 2015 for the anniversary release, Friday Music released their version of Promised Land, and that was released on 180 gram, they say, audiophile vinyl, and on yellow or gold. I guess you could say it's gold more than yellow. And then now this new release by Music on Vinyl, and this was pressed on a really beautiful, like a white marble, almost like a smoky type vinyl. Hope that comes out. Looks like it's coming out nicely. All right. Now, as pretty as they look, I guess I may as well show you the original pressing as well, since I'm showing the other ones. So this is the original sleeve from the 1975 release, and on the tan label, I don't know if you're really going to be able to see that it's tan as opposed to orange on here, but believe me when I tell you it is tan, and it is the Dynoflex label, which gives us a lot of fun where you can do that and it won't damage the record. All right, but here's the thing. So now I have these three versions, and of course some people are going to want to know, well, Ed, which one sounds the best? You know, what's the one to have in your collection? That's a really good question, because what would be the best one to have in your collection? You can have your own answer, your own assumption, make whatever, I don't know, not guess you want, all right? But this is what I did. What I did was I took a test, if you will. I tried to do it controlled, where I only changed one variable, one thing, and the only variable that was changed was which pressing I put on, whether it was the original Friday Music or Music on Vinyl. All right, but it's on my stereo system, so that's going to be the same. So the speakers are the same, the wires are the same, the receiver's the same, the turntable, the cartridge, the needle, everything is the same. The volume, I kept the same. So I didn't touch the volume. I just put it on one specific volume, and then, played the original pressing, and then actually played a couple of tracks off the original pressing and listened to it a couple of times. And then I went to the Friday Music one, played those same tracks. The only thing, again, that I changed was the album itself. Everything else remained the same. I didn't change the volume, nothing. So then I played the Friday Music, same tracks, a couple of times, took it in, then went back to listen to the original again, same tracks, took it in, then went to the Music on Vinyl and did the same thing. So I listened to Promised Land. I listened to, I did the first and last song on side A. So it was Promised Land and, oh God, why can't I think of the title right now? And Love Song of the Year. All right, so those were the two tracks that I concentrated on. And what I found may shock you, may astonish you, may not. Maybe you already know the answer to this, okay? My personal opinion is I felt that the original pressing really sounded the best. Or I shouldn't even say that it sounded the best. What I should say is that I could really find no discernible difference between the sound of each album, with the exception of the Music on Vinyl. And the only difference that I found was it seems to be mastered a little bit quieter, meaning that at the volume that I had it at, The first two, the original pressing and the Friday Music pressing, sounded exactly the same. It didn't sound like there was any discrepancy between the volumes, like one sounded louder or one sounded, not as loud. All right, but when I got to the Music on Vinyl one, it sounded quieter. So it didn't sound as loud as the other two pressings did. But it was it was minor. It wasn't huge. So that was really the only thing that I could discern. They all sounded the same. They all, you know, the only thing I could probably say is the Music on Vinyl one, the vinyl sounded very quiet, meaning that when the needle rode between each song, there was barely any indication of it. Not a lot of surface noise. Not even so much on the Friday Music one either was there a lot of surface noise. But the original pressing, not as much. Maybe a pop or two here or there because, it is from 1975 and might need a little bit of a better cleaning. But overall, I really found no discernible difference between the sound of any of them, with the exception of the Music on Vinyl being a little bit quieter. So, with that being said, if you're looking for this particular album in your collection, which one should you go hunt for? I would say try and find an original pressing because they're not going to be terribly expensive. They're definitely going to be less than a Music on Vinyl or a Friday Music, as both of these go for around the $30 range, if not a little bit more. But I'm pretty sure that if you go and you hunt or even look on eBay, you could probably find an original pressing for $10 or less, depending on condition, of course. If it's sealed or something like that, or quadradisc, that might be a little bit more. But I think overall, this would be your best bet to go, the original 1975 release of the original album. And there you have it. I mean, the other ones are pretty, and they're great to listen to and, look at. But if you're going to go for it, my opinion would be to go for the original pressing. And there you have it. Now, remember, that's just my opinion. You may agree, you may disagree, and that's fine. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And I appreciate you watching. And again, Kurt, thank you again for the Music on Vinyl version, as I really do appreciate it. And it does sound great. So there you have it. All right, everybody. Good to yourselves. Good to each other. Take care.